Have you ever created a financial resolution for the new year and within months and sometimes even weeks, you're already starting to doubt whether or not you're going to be able to meet your goals? I'm going to share with you why most people never actually meet their New Year's resolution financial goals. But in this video, I'm going to tell you the 5 ways that you can make sure that if you employ, you are guaranteed to meet your New Year's resolution. So one of the reasons why most people actually never meet their New Year's resolution is that they fail to track their finances. So what does that mean? The very first thing before you even try to become financial free, you need to understand how much money you make, how you make it, and the expenses you have. So one of the things that I think everyone should do, now I do this every week, and I recommend that anyone that's a student of mine and people that I mentor, I tell them the exact same thing is, you want to get a piece of paper, fold it into 3 spaces, right? Like a pamphlet style. On one side, you need to write down your essential, your saving, and your wants. Now, it's important that you write it in that order, your essentials, your savings, and your wants. Because as an investor, you want to pay yourself first, you want your savings to be written right after your essentials. And you want to split this up in a 50, 30, 20 method. I'll explain. These numbers are never concrete. There's always a little bit of wiggle room, but if you're smart, you want the wiggle room to be towards saving more money. So what I recommend is that you go into your bank account, your credit cards, wherever you run your expenses through, and you want to write down the last month. It is important that before you understand where your money is, you have to understand what you've done with your money in the past. Now, most people never think about this. They think, okay, I'm going to create a New Year's resolution going forward, but they never pay attention to what they've done with their money in the past. And that's very important. So what you need to do is this: go back into your credit cards and check how you spent money the last month. Now, of course, December is the Christmas month, and most people are spending more money than they usually spend. And before that, we had Black Friday, and people were spending more money then too. That's why, honestly, I prefer the 3-month method. I believe in going back in a quarter. When you go back in that quarter, you want to write down everything that you spent month by month. So you're going to do this for each month, and you're going to write down every essential, which is your bills. Now, let me tell you this. Xbox Live is not an essential, but we will put it on the wants and we will make it work in the budget. So the first thing you do is write down all your expenses on the essential side. Then turn around and write down all the times you saved money, right? Now, if you don't have anything in your savings, that's going to be a problem, but that's why you have a New Year's financial resolution. And these are the things that we're going to work on getting you started on. Now you have your wants. These are things that you want to have, right? These are your Xbox Live, your makeup, extra things, but they're not necessarily essential. Why is this important? Well, to be fair, you can't do without your wants for long before it becomes too much of a burden mentally, and most people end up giving up on whatever they want anyway. So the first thing is you have to track every dollar, right? And how do we say we're going to do that? You're going to write down your essentials, your wants, and your savings, and you're going to keep them in that 50, 30, 20. The second thing you're going to do is we're going to stick to a realistic budget. Now, I can't stress this enough. One of the most important things is people will create budgets that are unsustainable. So what you do is, and this is where that 50, 30, 20 comes into play. The first thing is, once you've identified what are your essentials, you're going to put that down. That's going to be about 50% of your cost, right? And then 30% is going into savings, and 20% is going into what you want. It's very important that you understand the market that we're going into now. Of course, for this point of this video, we're not going to dive into this. This 2025 is going to be a very interesting year financially with the Fed fund rates. Now, we're going to talk about that in other videos, but I'll just give you a quick synapse. So we anticipate that the Fed's not going to cut rates as much as they promised or as much as they had told the markets previously. So what does that mean? That means that you're still going to get pretty good yields from high yield savings accounts. So even if you're not investing your money in the first few months, what you need to be doing is opening up a high yield savings account and putting your saving money in there. What I could do is in another video, I can make a better illustration as to how you want to do this, right? There's several savings accounts out there, Lending Club. I'm not affiliated with any of these guys, but Lending Club, and literally if you just Google high yield savings accounts, a bunch of them will pop up and you're getting like 3 to 4, sometimes even 4.5% interest rate. So this is a good time to put that money in there while you save it for step number 4 and 5. The third thing you want to do is to eliminate high debt. Now, why is this important? First thing that I always tell people to do is you always need to be aware of your debt. One of the things that people need to do is you need to lose the fear of ignorance. Let me explain what I mean. Most people are okay not dealing with the reality of the debt that they have. So, for an example, for me, any debt that I have, I understand how much I'm paying on it, especially if it doesn't yield me anything. So, an example is car payments, right? If you have a car note, you need to understand what the interest rate is on that debt and the term of that debt, right? These are very important things. And let's just say you have a car payment, you owe $2,000, or you pay $1,000 a month on, and you have credit card payment that you pay $1,000 a month on, and you're deciding which one you're gonna pay the majority of the amount on. I would tell you that if you looked at both of those notes, you would find that the car payment probably had an interest rate of, I don't know what the rates are now, but let's just say 7, 8, 9. Those are pretty high numbers. But if you look at the rate on the credit card, you're probably looking at anywhere from 20, 25, even at the low end, 17, 18%. I would make a higher payment on the credit card just because the interest rate is that much higher, and paying off that one will actually save you more money, right? Save you more money in the long run versus if you paid the car note off. So that's very important to understand. The next thing that you must do to be able to meet your financial goals for 2025 is you have to educate yourself. Now, this kind of draws back on the last point that I was saying. You cannot play ignorant. Some of the things that you need to do to educate yourself for 2025 is going to be this. Of course, you want to subscribe to YouTube channels that focus on finance and discuss it. I would tell you to read at least one financial article a day. Now, of course, we all have areas of topics that we like, but to be fair, honestly, I read about every single sector because it's important. Now, this is something we can discuss in another video as well. The way money works is it's not just monopolar. It's not money revolves around so many sectors that affect each other. So you need to understand how the world and the economy all connects, whether it be domestically or internationally and things like that. But for starters, just read an article that you might be pertaining to something that you like. Let's just say real estate or the stock market, but understand that the greater market exists. So every now and then I challenge you, and we could discuss this also on the channel, is how to get other information from other sources so that you build an information source around your knowledge base. Something else that you should do is definitely follow the Scrub Investors channel. Of course, I'm gonna be dropping multiple content this year, multiple sectors. We're gonna be talking about money, trying to get you more money, and going on from there. The last thing that you should do is you have to get skin in the game. What does that mean? You have to start investing. So if you remember in step number 2, where we talked about creating that savings account, you need to start employing that savings account. Now, of course, this video is not necessarily going to do a deep dive as to how you can invest your money in multiple facets, but the skin in the game that you need to have is putting money into things like ETFs, the stock market, and seeing your money work. Why is that important? A lot of times people think investing is difficult. The reason a lot of people think investing is difficult is they never spend the time to put skin in the game. You need to get skin in the game. You will never get financial freedom by not putting skin in the game. The people that take risk, now of course we could talk about ways to mitigate your risk, other videos as well, but the people that take risk are the people that get the highest rate of return. So I challenge you to start putting your money in, buying ETFs, and we'll talk about this in another video, ETFs, stocks that are safe and will ultimately start to get you on the path to the results that you want for 2025. So do me a favor, guys. If you like this video, if you found it informative, definitely make sure to hit that subscribe button. The Scrub Investor channel, we're gonna be putting out quite a bit of content this year. Make sure to support, hit that notification bell so you can watch the next videos coming up, and see you guys until next time.